in that cost, you also had all your advertising, your marketing, your promoting, like stuff like that. So yeah,
that's everything. Yeah,
so.
hotels, flight, everything.
Yeah.
Well,
name me an independent company or another convention company that has invested that much money on a show. And if they're not named WWE, ROH, New Japan, it probably has zero hits on that. So I don't think anybody's spending that kind of money.
And probably, I think I heard he did say that I lost money, and I'm open and honest, and yeah, I did lose money. And year one, I didn't expect it. My goal was to break even. It didn't happen, I went above and beyond. I had ads on fucking boats in the ocean for 2 months.
Right.
Some of the most bizarre stuff I did. But again, it's branding. If you're building a brand, you're going to invest. And
right.
WWE takes a loss, and Impact is always taking a loss, and MLW is taking a loss. And so it's a bad thing that somebody who wants to invest money takes a loss. No, actually, I'm investing in people. I'm investing in talent. I'm investing in my partners and whoever else and the fans.
Right, but you're also investing into the future. You're creating a brand. You set a precedence. So now people who went to this Boardwalk Beatdown, who went to this show, and it absolutely enjoyed themselves, because I haven't heard a single negative thing said about the entire weekend. Outside of the drama that happened. But I'm talking about just the boardwalk atmosphere of the convention, not a negative thing. So you've built a brand, and now you set a precedent saying, hey, when you see Boardwalk Beatdown, you know what you're going to get for the future. All right, maybe you're not going to spend $175,000 for everything down the road. You might vendor out more talent. You might cut down a little bit on the promoting. But they know they're going to get your 110% investment into your own product.
Absolutely.
So if anybody wants to knock that, just run headfirst into a brick wall, because you're stupid. Because how are you going to knock somebody for committing to a business so down the road, next year, the year after, people know what they're going to get? And that's the problem, is people have been resting too long on their laurels, giving everybody the whole, oh, I've been doing this for 27 years. I've been doing this for 51 years. Again, I don't care how long you've been doing it. If you put up shit, it's shit. You've been doing it for 27 years, then it's 27 years of shit. You have to adapt with the times. What you did 20 years ago doesn't necessarily reflect that it's going to work now. So you have to adapt. You have to evolve. So, him saying, "Oh, who can say they've been running for 51 years?" First of all, Mike, you haven't been running for 51 years. Okay, you originally ran TWA Wrestling, and that company was hemorrhaging money all over the place. Then you were talked into buying an established company in ECWA, already established. So somebody wanted to get out of that business because they were hemorrhaging money, and you bought it. You dissolved TWA, one company that was losing money, to buy another company that was losing money, hoping that you could buy an established name and run forward with it and make money. It's called an investment. Not knocking it. It's not a bad idea if you were losing money with your other company. But if you buy a new company and you run it the same way you were running the company that you were losing money with, then what are you doing besides changing the name? You're not changing anything. You're still losing money. So to get back to the point where he was canceling, I mean, this guy canceled the show. He canceled Boogeyman. He canceled Teddy Hart. And the reason why he canceled them is because he wasn't selling any tickets and he couldn't afford to pay them. So he canceled the talent, didn't tell anybody, and then pretty much spun it that the talent canceled, which wasn't true.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and this is from a source, the source. Okay, this is not hearsay. This is not another promoter told me this. This is from the source. Okay, and I know Marty Wright was very public and about it on his Facebook page. And he said that he was canceled. He didn't cancel the program. So, I'm sorry. I'm going to believe a guy who doesn't have a reputation of canceling shows or canceling talent or not paying people or asking people to take discounts. I'm going to believe the guy who shows up for every show. So he then gets into how you canceled your October show. Now, I don't know if we got into it the last time we spoke, but what if you feel comfortable letting us know, why did you cancel the October show?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm absolutely comfortable answering anything and everything. The October show, and me and my partner broke off, and CZW people might not be so much involved in the show, whether it's politically and things like that. And we had pretty much a mindset of the matches and everything like that. And again, I am super green as a promoter, and I'm learning, and I could not handle doing an October show and a November show at the same time. It would be bad faith for the fans to invest their hard-earned money into a show I can't produce at the highest quality. It would be bad for the talent if I can't, get the right match work together. Again, I don't have a roster of people. I don't have a roster right now for standalone. So, it was the right thing to do. Everybody's refunded. We had 50% of our front row sold out already, which was great. Everybody was refunded, and there's going to be standalone shows again. It's not like I abandoned the brand or I abandoned the people or nobody got paid that was booked. It's far off in advance that that anybody who we did have booked can find other bookings,
right,
whether they were affiliated or not. And again, to be fair for the November show, I'm one person, and the Boardwalk Beatdown really sucked my soul away. It's what I was doing 24/7.
Right.
I lost time with my son and my family, and I took away from my own business to do this, and so now I just need to go back and get all my gears moving forward on both products, which I am.
Okay, it's understandable because they made a comment about why would you cancel one show to concentrate on another show and then change the name, and why wouldn't you just run it as the same name? And one of his guys said that and he brought up the point that your show was more that the Pro Wrestling After Dark was more geared towards adult, hence the gimmick name. So, but right, so then
that's an easy answer.
Right.
Yeah, if I'm gonna go bring a show to a church, and I want to say, hey, here's standalone, this is family friendly, blah blah blah. This is what we do. It's gonna be great for the families, for the church members. Mm-hmm. And then I bring them the Pro Wrestling After Dark show, and I try to explain to the guy running the church, hey, listen, we're gonna have a wrestling cock, and it's gonna come out, and it's gonna run around the kids, and we're gonna drink, and we're gonna have an amazing time, and it's gonna be very sexual, and how can you put those two companies together? You can't.
You can't. But that's why I didn't understand why that was even brought up, and I think the guy who commented on it saying that it was adult orientated was trying to let him know the difference, but then he started bringing up when was the last time a promoter ran two different companies and it was successful and blah blah blah, and he brought up WWE and WCW, which I thought was kind of the dumbest analogy on the planet Earth. Okay, because first of all, WWE bought WCW for the single purpose of closing it down. Same thing with ECW. So how are you going to say, well, WWE couldn't even run two companies because they bought WCW? Well, they bought it to close it down. They bought ECW to close it down. But they're running two different companies with NXT. So how does that analogy even work in that conversation? WWE is running not only NXT and WWE, but they're running a United Kingdom program as well.
Yeah.
So
and that again brings up his point too about finances.
Right.
WWE acknowledges that NXT is bleeding the hell out of money.
Right. Okay,
but they're still investing in that product because they believe in it.
Right. And any company, look, how many you could probably count on one hand, in our lifetime of companies that made money in their first couple of years they were in existence. It just doesn't happen. The simple business 101 is it usually takes 5 years to get to the break-even point.
Yeah, and again, I mean, his shows aren't making money either.
No.
You know, if you're not able to pay your talent, whether it's your roster guys that you know we've heard about,
Mm-hmm.
or whether it's your main talent who are your draws, you know. So number one, you're tricking your fan base, and you're still not able to pay them. You're not making money either.
And he's absolutely not. You know, and it's kind of like one of the posts I made on Facebook about the promoters who brag about having a great weekend, making money, profitable. I'd say 80% of those posts are bullshit. It's just them saving face. We know they lost money. Numbers don't lie. Math, I love math. Anybody who knows me, I'm a numbers guy. I can stare at numbers all day long, and I'm happy. You know, I was a statistician with baseball. I'm great with Excel sheets and profit and loss program. I love all that crap. You know, that's what gets me happy. So what? I'm weird. Whatever. But but you can't sit there and crap on somebody else when your women's champion doesn't even want to work for you anymore. Okay? Your women's champion left you. Okay? Christina Marie left his program because they set them up. First of all, he set them up with an embarrassing what the hell those custom matches with this girl named Onyx, which she, I guess, took it upon herself to shoot during the match. Which,
wow,
yeah. So that was a little weird, and that's embarrassing because they set it up. So here she is. This girl's wrestling in front of her family, and you know, Christina Marie had to put a beating on this girl because she was shooting her during the match. So
wow,
right. So you have that. Then he calls her up and asks her to take a pay cut for the next coming show. So she says no. She travels. Okay, she's not local. She travels. So to take a pay cut, she was literally paying. She would have been paying more to travel there than she was going to get if she took a pay cut. So to her, and in her thought, that's like strike two. Then she shows up to the show, and he asks her to take a pay cut again as he's about to hand her envelope.
Wow.
So, basically that was the end of that because he didn't make any money. He was losing money. He didn't do it much at the gate. So I guess he was trying to pay his people with gate, which you don't do. And that's basically it. So she drives 4.5 hours. You can't expect a girl to drive 4.5 hours to take a pay cut. I mean, it's just ridiculous. Unless you were booking her the entire weekend. Like I can understand if she worked a Friday night in the same area, she worked 2 shows on Saturday and maybe a Sunday. She could afford to take a little pay cut in one of those shows. But if she's driving 4.5 hours to go there to do a show and then has to drive 5 hours somewhere else to do another show, that's just silly to ask her to take a pay cut. And it wasn't just her. He was asking everybody to take a pay cut. So I don't know who did and who didn't, but that's just silly. And then he cancels the Showboat show, and he pretty much blamed it. And inside, he blamed all the wrestlers because they didn't want to take pay cuts. So he couldn't afford to run the show.
That's crazy.
So, I mean, it was, it's just silly.
That's what amazes me, that somebody wants to talk about money issues when they have money issues of their own. Right.
Well, exactly. I mean, like we said, I said at the beginning of the show, I said, people who have shortcums in their own business shouldn't be shitting on anybody else especially in the same industry. All right, you should not. I mean, it's just silly. Okay, this is now he runs that. What was it? The Super 8, which is like the all-female tournament.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now he runs that, which is a really cool thing. Obviously, I'm a big supporter of women wrestling. I'm partners with Joe Bellini with Women of Warriors. So obviously, I'm into all, supporting women wrestling. So I don't, the Super 8, cool idea. I mean, I think it's a really cool thing. But here's the problem. Karen Q won the last tournament. That was the same day that Honky Tonk Man decided to shit all over Karen Q in person, and on Facebook later on that evening